What's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grasso. This is the Locked Up Sports NFL Sunday. We get you set for all the games going on in the NFL, and a wild one last night, wild one on Thursday night, wild one last night. Brett, what's up?
Just
Week 16.
Crazy. Just such good games. Such important games. Games that you think teams are out of, that some people might have even been turning off the TVs or leaving a stadium. It really, everything you could really ask for as a fan, maybe not as, some of the teams expected it to go, because it was just some weird stuff, man. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy stuff. The game Thursday night, which was out of control, more unlikely, I think, that happened. But then again, last night, I mean, they needed an onside kick, which at first they needed a fourth down, and he threw it into the back right corner of the end zone after being on the run, flushed out of the pocket to the right. I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? And I thought he overthrew the guy. And he made a great catch.
I thought he was throwing it out of the end zone. I was like, wow. I was like, you're kidding me. He's throwing it in the spot where it's not even possible to make a play in that situation. And you look, and it's really like it was more of a fadeaway. As you see also, he had to take 2 steps and a lean to the right because he had a free rusher coming from his left on that throw. That was one of the all-time, it is his greatest throw until his next throw.
Yeah, and they get that. They get
overtime.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But after they get that, they still have to make the extra point. They have to make the extra point, right? Which is not easy because the wind was whipping.
It almost might be easier to go for 2 in that scenario.
I was surprised Burkhardt said they were going to go for 2. Why would you go for 2 there? You don't go for 2 there. Not at home.
I know home, go for the win. Home, you go into over. Anyway, it was really just, there was a lot of scenarios that went on, and keep going, because let me tell you, it gets even crazier.
Well, then he had to get an onside kick. 8% is it was 1 of 21, I think it was. It was 1 of 21 a couple months ago. They got like two onside kicks have been recovered all year before this one. It went right into the guy's hands. He just kind of played it with his hands.
It goes to Romeo Dobbs. It goes to Romeo Dobbs, who is on the all-time hands team. Like, Bob, me and you at Broadway, we were hands team.
hands team.
We onside kicks. Like, you know who you want up there. It doesn't matter. And that's the guy, and he screws it up. Now, the problem that makes it even worse and compounds this problem is he gets injured on the play, Romeo Dobbs, and he doesn't come back into this game. And now you're already down to Malik Willis because Jordan Love's been out since the first quarter with a concussion. And look, you know what? All respect to Malik Willis for putting together an all-time game for a step in a big scenario.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
Giving your team a chance to win. I'm watching this kid get himself a contract for another. Like, that was beautiful. Like, that's a $20 million quarterback in the NFL right there.
He came in a tough spot
for 3 quarters.
In a tough spot, in freezing cold.
Nice.
It was freezing cold. The heaters didn't work on the sidelines, on either sideline, so they couldn't even sit on the warm benches.
No, it was a setup. That's a setup. No. You know how that works. Now you know they have to turn them off on the other sideline.
You think they leave
when
them on?
That happens? But no. The other ones were never on, so it just went ice. Where those ones were cranking on the home side. So now the Bears got theirs cranking. You know they got them. They got these special heaters that don't even show the glow on their side. But no, seriously though, they all of a sudden ice cold on this side. It matters.
They use the things, setup. You know what they use? They use the things that we used to have at the car wash.
Yeah, the huge propane heaters
fire
that blow with the heat, with a fan behind it that just blows hot, and you burn your boots.
You burn your pants and your boots.
You melt your boots on the edges, and you're like, oh, is it? And you're like, whoa, you're on fire. You're melting. And you're like, oh, okay, run back out there and freeze to death. So just enough where you feel your toes.
They get the onside kick. Then on 4 then it's 4th and 1, like near midfield, and the Packers like, we're going for it. Right, so they go. He fumbled, and this is where he made the mistake. He fumbled the snap, and I didn't see this till after that he fumbled the snap. He fumbled the snap, and it got. That's it. It's over. It doesn't matter who recovers it because it's turnover on downs. And on the very first play, Caleb Williams throws a ball that is you couldn't have walked out there and put it into his arms any better then he made that throw. It was good coverage. The guy made the catch. And great calls by Burkhardt, the whole thing. Everything was great.
All of it. No, all of it. It was just all time, and it's the perfect call for the situation. I hate teams. I really hate it, especially when a coach knows the conditions of kicking a field goal and the pressure that comes with that, and you add all those things together, and the divisions on the line, the NFC might be on the, like, all of the stuff, like your playoff hopes are on the line, all of it. And he goes, that we're not here to kick field goals. We're here to win this football game right now. And he put his faith in his quarterback, he put his faith in his receiver and his offensive line. And that on both of those passes, he had to move in spots that is like, just really, that's when I really have faith in him of, wow, he knows how to move in the pocket without panicking and has the ability to throw off his back foot in a way that is just like, that was, I'm sorry, Caleb Williams, my respect, that was amazing.
That's his coming out party, because 2 weeks prior, he couldn't even, he just waited. I looked like him, and I had said that he doesn't look like he's ready for primetime yet. He's not ready for a big game in December in Lambeau Field with the division on the line. He just wasn't ready. They didn't play well. Now, listen, Caleb Williams did not play well in the first half either. They were the teams, both the Packers and the Bears, were moving the ball inside the 20s all game. Then they get in the red zone, and the things would stall. They turn over on downs. They kick in field goals because the Packers didn't score many points, right? The Packers, Willis only had like 120 yards. You'd think he had more, but he only had 120 yards. They were running the game. It was like an old school Packers, Bears.
No, but he didn't lose the game. No, he's the guy who
played well. Willis played well.
To be lost. No chance. No way. You don't have Parsons. You don't have your quarterback. We kind of, half the country thought the quarterback was going to come through. And let me tell you. So like you said, it wasn't even that. It was, they had a chance to win this game. They really had it, and the Bears snatched it from them.
I mean,
late,
they did.
Man.
They scored the touchdown to make it 16-6. Right? It's over there. You pretty much think it's over. Yeah. They go down there. The guy makes a good field goal, like 50 yards. That's important too, because without that, you don't get it. You don't even get a chance at the onside kick. But now I think the bigger question with the Packers is their best player on defense out, their best player on offense out. Right,
and that's a questionable injury.
And they got to win now.
Stuff. You don't know how it's going to go this week. You don't know if they're even going to let him play. Honestly, these days it has been more likely than not that they do not play in the following week. And you want to make it even worse? Guess who's playing Saturday? So good luck.
Oh, it's a short. No, it's a full week, but it's Saturday.
No, it doesn't matter. It's Saturday.
Could have used the extra day.
Could have been a lengthened week. Yeah. That's and I don't even remember who they're playing, but it's somebody big. It's as always coming on this time of year. It's a big, So anyway, that Packers they win that game. They're in control of all of it, and they can not worry as much even with the concussion. And Malik Willis gave them that chance, but now, oof, they got to fight now. This is all widening up.
Because
there's a couple way these games can go this weekend that makes it some of the craziest playoff scenarios we've ever seen of shifting where people are playing, who's playing where. Like it is so open. And it comes down to even like we talked. With
the other big winner for that in that game. The other big winner. I'm sorry. was the Lions. Lions are right back in it now.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, you're right, it's all shifted. It's all over the place. It's going to be all over the place.
All of it, and it goes even further. We're going to get into it with Mancini. We got the Steelers. We got, you go into the Ravens, and you go, wait a minute. If the Ravens win that game, and then the Steelers, lose, like, oh my, you got a lot going on there.
Now there's your playoff picture.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Hold on, that's not right.
That's not right. Definitely not right.
That's definitely not right. That's got Cleveland. It's got Cleveland in there.
The Dolphins are in good position.
Oh man, I'm gonna strangle my AI guy. The Dolphins. Yeah, and then the Eagles in the first game. Listen, you were right. I'm gonna give you credit because you were right. You said that the Redskins, the Commanders aren't playing the win. They punted the ball down with nothing to play for. Down 10 points. Yep. At the time, down 10 points.
I knew they were going to fold at the end.
Midfield, and they just punted it. Like, what are you doing?
Hard, and they were winning that game. Like, they had that game.
Yeah, they could have won. Ways.
And then Mariota goes out in that game. They would have won that game if Mariota doesn't go down. Let me tell you, I was so right about the Eagles. The Eagles are weak, man. I am
the Eagles are not very good either.
The Eagles are weak. And I'm not saying they won't win because they're the team who could win all those games weekly. But I just don't. They're not what you thinking. The Commanders are trying to lose, and they still almost won. It's exactly what I said yesterday.
They were trying to lose.
I go, it's going to turn out to be a good game because both teams can't even figure out what they're trying to do. You're exactly right.
And I was watching
you got the early field goal, but I got the rest.
Because the score didn't indicate what it was because the Eagles piled on late, right? They got those 2 touchdowns. Because as soon as they punted it, within first it was like a shank punt, so it went into the end zone. I'm sorry, and then within 2 plays, you got the guy running down the sideline into the end zone. So it was over right there, and then they scored another one late. So they piled on. So that game was closer than it really appeared, but
it was actually in Washington's favor for most of that game. So you're exactly right. But exactly what happened is they just gave up late, and that was, you know what? That's the problem is there's a point where, you may want to have pride and you may want to be like Aaron Glenn and you may want to be like the Jets organization to say, let's squeeze out that 1 extra win and go for 2 so we win that game. When you're going to tear down your future, and I understand you're like, it's 1 draft pick moving up or down. Right now, you know what you need. And there's 3 guys to pick. You need to get one of those 3 guys. You don't want it to be this little 5'9" Pavia guy, which is going to ruin your future. And you're like, it is nice to lose in these scenarios, and certain organizations have learned that a long time ago. When you get a Jaden Daniels, that one guy can change it all, and they're smart. So I think that's what we saw yesterday.
Listen, you're right. But 2 years from now, 3 years from now, they'll probably be happy that they lost that game because if you win it, it's nothing. It means nothing, right? It means nothing. And there was a million. The place was filled of Eagles fans. There was by far more Eagles fans than there were Commanders fans in that stadium yesterday for that game. That place was erupting every time the Eagles did something good. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's close, right? Nobody's going. You don't want to go to that game, and it's cold. It's a sad. You want to waste a Saturday and the week before Christmas going to see the Commanders lose to the Eagles, but you can travel from Philly down there pretty quick.
I will say, I barely wanted to watch it once we started talking about it at home on my couch, wrapping presents, getting Christmas stuff done, so you're exactly right. But I will say sometimes it's those interdivisional games, you just know they're going to be good. Even when you're like, Commanders got no shot. This is going to be a garbage game. And it's like, never is. I don't even know what the spread was in that game, but it can't even been that much.
7.5, I would say.
It might have been probably 6.5, but yeah. But yes, that's man. It's just the Eagles. I don't know. The Eagles are just. I feel like they have everything they need to, make a run, and they just don't know how to run their offense. They don't know how to run they don't put them under the center. They don't run Saquon Barkley. They do the shotgun every time, which is the worst thing you could possibly do for Barkley. And,
he's having a down year. Listen, it was going to be a down year no matter what. He ran for 2,000 yards last year.
No, that's for sure. And his line is just no line is going to be like that. That's a Hall of Fame line. Barkley played well. They played amazing. And so, listen, I like to see the Eagles fail. I hope they do fail. And, let's get it going. But we'll talk first time, 21 years back to back. Yeah, NFC East champ. Oh, Bob,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's the first time. I mean, the Giants.
21 years it's a long time. It doesn't mean anything. It's just that's a very long. It's a crazy thing.
It is a long time. Because the teams don't
stay
good.
How good most of those teams have been. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't stay. And the Giants won their 2 Super Bowls as wild cards, so they didn't even win. They didn't even win the division. I know the Washington won 2 years ago. Right, Washington won 2 years ago, and then last year he got him to the championship game, and this year, the season never got off the ground for Washington is what happened.
Last year was the Eagles, the year before was the Washington, exactly, and it was the Cowboys. Anyway, it goes on and on. That was the Cowboys losing to the Giants year.
Yeah. So okay. Though, if you want to hop on the show, you got a comment. I see our buddy Bob Fleece is watching the show. So what's up, Bob?
Oh, nice.
It's our other buddy Frank Russo's birthday. We want to wish him a happy birthday. So if any of you guys want to hop on, just scan the QR code in the bottom right corner down there by Brett, and then you can make a phone call. your phone will walk you right through it. It takes 2 seconds. You'll be on the show with us like this. But now we're gonna go to an interview that we just taped before. It's with Mark Mancini. He's our Steelers guy. Steelers got a big game today. Ravens have a big game today. That division we'll come back and we'll talk about what's the biggest game of the day. But here is our interview we just finished with Mark Mancini of XM Radio. All right, so now it's time for our interview of the show. It is going to be Mark Mancini, same as last week or 2 weeks ago, Mark. We missed you last week. Welcome to the show. Big week this week, week 16. We were going over all the scores and everything last night. Did you see the game yesterday? Did you see the Bears? Are the Bears back or what?
Wow, what a pass. What a win. And I think that would have been a different outcome if Love was in that game and didn't go out with a concussion.
Yeah, and now the Packers might miss the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If Parsons was in that game, Love doesn't get knocked out, I think you're right.
Yeah, they could very easily.
Yeah, that's a big one. You don't want to have something like that happen to you. But I still like the Packers to get in the playoffs. It should be interesting. I don't think the Bears are going anywhere. People talk about the Bears, but you know what? You got to lose to win. They haven't been there in years. So I think the most interesting game yesterday was first time in 20 years that we've got back-to-back NFC East champs in the Eagles.
You think that was a more interesting
years.
Yeah. You think that was a more interesting
21
game
years.
than the game the game of the year, one of the games of the year? That game was just you had the Commanders punting the ball from midfield on 4th and 5 with 10 minutes
Thursday
left.
night game ever. Well, you got Sam Darnold. The only way Sam Darnold can actually convert the 2-point conversion, he doesn't even know he did it. So that you got your own kind of mess in either game. So
now, Mark, you're a Steelers guy. Steelers got a big one today, a tough one in Detroit against the Lions, they're both, Lions are hanging by a thread. They have to win this game. Steelers 8-6. They still got a game up on the Ravens, who have a big game tonight in a home against New England. What's your take on the Steelers this afternoon?
Well, the Lions need to win more than the Steelers. The Steelers kind of control their own destiny. Even if they lose, they get their, home game against, the Browns they're going to, and then they get the Ravens to close out the season. So I think they're still in the driver's seat. If they basically controlled the division. But the Lions are free falling, man. I don't know what happened to this Lion team. Ever since Washington punked them in the playoff game there, the Lions really haven't been themselves. And I think, maybe, they've worn out with Dan Campbell. His voice hasn't got to him. Well, it's not Jared Goff's problem. I just think they're just kind of tuning Campbell out there.
And a lot of it has to do with, do you think it has to do with when he started taking over the play calling duties? Like all of a sudden it was Dan Campbell and, going for it on the wrong 4th downs and not going for it on the ones they should be going for.
He goes for it on every 4th down. He just goes for it.
Once in a while he doesn't when he really should.
The part of the problem is let people, have, their strength in the organization be their strength. And when you see a little flicker of, disappointment, then you stand there and say, well, I'm going to do the play calling. Well, if you don't have experience doing that, you're the head coach running other things, how the hell do you have time to, run the play calling? And that's, I think, what people, it's kind of like football. People look at, the quarterback, the running back, and the wide receiver. Football is won in the trenches on the line. And people don't seem to understand that. And that's where I think Campbell's losing it. And the Lions could find themselves out of it. And it's not, like I said, it's not a Jared Goff problem, or a Gibbs and some of those guys that they got there. It's Dan Campbell, trying to insert himself into a situation that he might not have experience on.
Well, he was playing Madden last year. He was playing
they're
Madden.
Desperate.
That's what he was doing.
Well, they think they're desperate when they're trying to pull a guy out of retirement and drag him out into the last minute. And they were like just come on out. We got you. And they were like, he's signed. We got him on the roster. And they were like, and he doesn't pass the physical.
No. Well, look at Indianapolis, man. And Phillip Rivers.
I love it. I love it.
Dude, he should just break out the shirt old guys rule.
He did it for the medical insurance. He did it for the health care.
Yeah, 5 more years right on to that.
He's got
This
10
is a
kids.
trend, I hope.
Grandkids.
Do you think this might be a trend with some of these guys? You know, there's guys who are reaching to get into the league. Like we know the Cam Newtons and the RG3s won in, and they're never getting back. And
if they call me out of retirement on something,
oh yeah,
and they say, "Hey, Mancini, we need you," I'm gonna take it one step further. I'm hugging fans. I'm hugging the equipment manager, man. I'm hugging everybody. I might take a 5-yard penalty, but who cares?
Yeah,
there's nobody more appreciative, right? That's got to be the most appreciative guy in football, and he definitely wins the comeback player of the year, right? No matter what.
No, he's got to win a game.
I'll tell you, when I got out of
hands
college,
down, if you get out there, you get it.
And when I was bartending or waiting tables, if I gave good service to somebody, I said, "Stop what you're doing. I need the high five, the hugs, and everything." They go, "What the hell is happening on that section of the tables? Did something, fall off or something?" But you got to have fun, and that's the only way.
Now the Steelers caught
Steelers
caught a break the other day, 2 weeks ago when we spoke to you. I thought they would lose. I thought the Ravens would win. The Steelers that was a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Look at it.
You're right.
Look at it. That's a touchdown.
You show me another. First of all, you show me another city. When you drive through the pit tunnel and it opens up in the downtown area, you won't find that anywhere in this country. Second of all, there's nobody that punks another city's ass like Pittsburgh over Baltimore in all sports. All sports. Baseball dominated the Orioles. We dominate the Ravens. We dominate the Capitals.
Yeah, the Capitals you dominate.
Come on, man.
Can you hold off the Ravens this year? Can you hold them off? They're on your tail. I think the Ravens beat the Patriots today. And I think the Steelers lose to the Lions.
Yeah, Lions are better. Lions are better than the Steelers.
What are you guys smoking this morning?
They're better than the Steelers. The Lions went
6-0.
We know good football here in New York. We know good football.
The Patriots, first of all, and if the Pittsburgh Pirates, if the Steelers beat the Patriots today, it opens the AFC East wide open. Because now if the Bills win, now it's a wide open thing. Now they play each other again, and that was a wide.
Yeah. The Ravens beat the Patriots. Oh yeah, 100%. And that's exactly what's gonna happen. This is going to get real wild.
As much as I like him. Vrabel's not going to let these guys blow another game. They blew a
21-0. They were up. Like 10 minutes in the first quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, no. The script is written. Goodell's got this ready, and it is good.
New England's going to go in there and show them on Sunday Night Football what they're all about.
But I'm telling you, I think it could be the difference between Buffalo making the Super Bowl and Buffalo not making the Super Bowl, because this is their year, right?
Yes.
They've had to go through the gauntlet every year with the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Steelers, and now they're not going to have that. But they screwed up a little bit because they let New England get a lead in the division, and now they're not going to win 3 road playoff games because you got Josh Allen pulling them out of the fire every week, right? He's doing it by himself. Their defense can't hold anybody. Josh Allen pulls them out of the fire, these huge second halves, and now he's not going to be able to do that 3 straight playoff games on the road. At least if they win the division, they'll get a home playoff game. Then they can kind of, okay, we're in the divisional round, and then go on the road.
I told you, after New England, the 2 sleepers I got, and you might agree with me, you might disagree. Keep your eyes on the Chargers and keep your eyes on the Jaguars. I love Trevor. I've always loved Trevor Lawrence, and you know that.
I think you're right about the Jaguars. Texans could be a sleeper.
Jaguars could make some noise.
Denver.
Yeah.
The defense. Defense travels.
No, Denver's one and done. Whatever round they're in, they're one and done. They're the team.
You think so?
They're going to get bounced.
Lose to win.
And what about What about
it's like some of these teams are just happy to be there, and it's a different sense, and I don't know. When you start that competition we're about to go against is tough. Like you said, Buffalo to go play 3 road playoff games and win them all. That's going to be a real tough test for anybody.
How about if San Francisco or the Rams or the Seahawks have to go into Tampa with 13 wins to play an 8-win or 9-win Tampa team and they lose?
Let me tell you, the Rams are
Possible.
one team.
Rams
one
are best.
team that can go on the road and punk teams in the ass because Sean McVay is a winner. Yeah. He's got a model wife. He's got 2 kids now. Watch out. The
house.
Well, he lost
that house.
He
Have
lost
you seen
that.
where he did that? Oh, he's got
Yeah,
that
but he
whole
doesn't.
setup.
But he doesn't.
It's nice.
But he thinks he thinks he should be throwing the ball up
Rams do
16
not
points with 8
rebuild.
minutes left.
Oh, yeah,
The Rams never rebuild. They retool. And let me tell you, Matthew Stafford cemented himself even in that loss, 457 yards. He is the MVP of the league.
Oh, he's by hands down. And Nakua could be right behind him, 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a great receiver. He's running free all day in that secondary, and the Seahawks have a good defense.
The Rams, if the special teams have killed the Rams, you take their losses, 3 of those 4 losses, they would be unbelievable right about now. And they can go into San Francisco, they can go into Seattle, they can go into anywhere and beat that team.
So
I like the Rams to come out.
Give me a winner in the Steelers, Lions, and Ravens, Patriots.
I think it's going to be a close game, but the Steelers, if they can build on what they did Monday night against Miami, I like it, and I think they'll go into Detroit and beat them. I think the Lions are free falling, kind of like Tom Petty's old song, God bless him up there. And I like New England to go in Baltimore and beat them. There's been a few teams that have gone in Baltimore this year and beat the Ravens. So
I think New England. I think New England's like the Bears. They're young. They you don't know how these quarterbacks are going to play in these big games.
Oh, come on, May is better than Caleb Williams.
Did you see that throw last night? Did you see that throw?
I agree. Yeah, I think he's got a lot. He is. You want to know natural talent, but something happens. Some guys are just good in the clutch, and you may not be the best quarterback when that clutch moment comes up. And I will say this: I didn't think Caleb Williams had that in him, and he changed my mind a little bit over not just last night, but a couple of these late comebacks.
You know what the difference between the Rams and the Patriots have that some teams, most of the teams have, but they got guys that get out there, celebrate. McVay and Vrabel, man, I love it. Vrabel gets in the middle of it. You know, he'll get in there and try. You know, I love that.
He might line up at linebacker for a third down, big third down. Aaron Glenn. See, but look at the difference. But here's the difference.
Down 30. We block a punt. We score a touchdown. Run down there. That's like the Super Bowl.
Here's the difference. Super Bowl. Mark's talking about it like it's great, and we're all like, yeah, you know what? We really like that. And when they do it, when they go into the playoffs, they're going to win divisions. When Aaron Glenn does, everybody laughs at him.
Oh, well, yeah. You can't do when you're a loser. You just look like a loser.
I know we're going to get off the record, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make you a prediction right now. If you look at the Jets, the Giants, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, we will have a better record. We will go further in the playoffs than you guys out there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
I don't doubt it. But your whole life comes down to Aaron Rodgers not getting crushed today by the Lions defense because you're about one little tiny ding away from this whole
He's not on the Jets.
House of cards.
It's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. It's not any of these players' fault. It's the Jets. When you put the Jets uniform on,
off the last few weeks out there, work. You guys better start protecting.
Yeah,
Mark Mancini.
I don't know what it is.
Mark Mancini.
I love you guys.
He's our man,
buddy.
We'll talk to you next week.
I love you guys. I love Joe Jennings out there.
Let's go Lions.
Joe in Charlotte.
That's right.
Wow.
Mark, see you next week, buddy.
Hey, get rid of the kidney stone. Say hi to the family. I love you both. I can't wait for next week when the Steelers
Merry Christmas.
Secured this.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas.
God
Merry Christmas,
bless.
right? All right. All right, so that's Mark Mancini. Thank you to Mark Mancini for that spot. Listen, it gets off the rails with him. I've done 50 shows, 60 shows with him. I used to the last year. Gets off the rails sometimes. He's a great guest. He's the best, one of the best people I know. Love him to death. I was telling Brett's still getting into the mid. You got to reel him in sometimes. You got to reel him in sometimes.
You know that's my favorite when it goes off the rails. So.
Okay, so now listen. He's the Pittsburgh guy. That's one of the big games this week. My question to you now here is, what's the biggest game of the day today? Now, there are some that it might be the same, right? The same kind of importance because you got the Ravens, you got the Steelers game, you got the Lions, which is the Ravens game, you got the Patriots, you got the Bills, but some of them are playing each other. What's the biggest game of the day?
It's probably Steelers, man. That Steelers game is a big deal. Like,
what about the Bucks? The Bucks, because all those other games, those guys are going to the playoffs, right? The Ravens, I guess, might not be going to the playoffs. The Lions might not be going to the playoffs, but for both teams, The biggest game to me is Bucks Panthers.
No, I don't. It might be. You might be right, and it's 2 7-7 teams. I mean, pretty much they have no chance at winning the wild card. You have to win your division. Panthers are. I mean, Bucks are. Typically,
lost 5 of 6. They lost 5 of 6.
They're honestly expected to win the division. They came out hot early in the year. They honestly looked like they were going to be one of those winning 14 game type of teams.
No, they fell off the cliff.
And then all of a sudden injuries set in hard. They did have some guys start coming back from injury. Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, he plays his whole life injured. He will come out there. If his left arm is broken, he will continue to out there. His right arm is broken. He will throw with his feet. So he is that you don't have to worry about. But they have been fading, and the Panthers are on the rise. And
Panthers, but both teams, Brett, in the last 2 weeks lost to New Orleans, right? Bad enough right there. Last week, the Bucks lost to Atlanta.
Yeah, but I need the Jets to lose to New Orleans this week, so I just hope New Orleans is that good. Like, as much as, I just don't know.
They beat the Giants. They beat the Giants, and then these two teams. Those are the 3 wins of the season.
That's something, man. I mean, that's not. We're gonna find out because the Jets are gonna go out and beat them today, and it's gonna ruin my day. But yeah, the Jets. I honestly, I don't. I think I picked the Panthers. I just was making some bets. I have the Panthers to win this game. Now
you could say that might.
I think it's more. Yeah.
That's the biggest game for playoff implications, right? But I think maybe the biggest game of the day is the Bills, right? Because the Bills, I think if the Bills win the division and get that home playoff game, they can go to the Super Bowl. I don't think they will if they lose this. If they get a wild card and have to go on the road for 3 games, like I was saying before, Josh Allen's pulling them out of the fire. He's doing it by himself, and you can't do that. In the playoffs. You're not going to do that against good teams.
You're right that the Bills. I mean, they can't lose this game. They have to win them all. They need to. It's so important that they don't play 3 road games. And they're not losing today.
This is their shot.
But they're not losing today. So if you want to call the Bills-Browns game the most
you're right. No, you're right. It's not. You're right.
I'm gonna have to.
You're right. Fair enough. Fair point.
Just so we're all clear and people aren't like, hey, what do you got? I mean, are you guys hyping up?
What do you think about that? Sanders.
I like it.
He's all right.
No, not that I like it. I just like that they're letting him go out there, even though they hate him, which is my favorite part.
They do hate him.
The more they hate him, the more he decides to play well. They're going to have to now. It's going to force the Browns to either say, we're keeping Shedeur Sanders as our starting quarterback, or the entire fan base is going to revolt. Or they have to trade him, and the entire fan base will revolt. So they're just stuck. They don't like him.
They're the Mets. They're the Mets.
It's great. I love everything about it. And he doesn't want to be there, and they don't want him there, but they can't get rid of him. So it's going to be awesome. Like, that's the Shedeur Sanders in a nutshell.
But you're right. They're not losing the game today. And then you got the one tonight's a good the good game tonight. Ravens, Patriots. I think the Ravens win.
I think
the Ravens I think they're underrated.
I think that's a big game. See, I can say for the Bills, like you were worried about, this is the game, though. I'm not even worried about the Bills game. This is the game.
That's a bigger game for the Bills than the Bills game. Yeah, you're right. Right. So this would be the one.
This is what I see as the game. And honestly, they're all like, there's a couple like that are just as important. There's no more important game between the Ravens and the Patriots right now than the Panthers versus the Bucks. Same difference. And the same thing with the Steelers game. The Steelers playing the Lions. Each one of those games are of equal importance inside of their division. It goes for who's going to the playoffs and who may not be going to the playoffs. And then who's going to play at home and who may, be stuck on a no chance at going on the road and winning all these games. Yeah, but
would it be a bigger game if you're not going to go to the playoffs, right? Like, we know Tampa and Carolina are not winning the Super Bowl, not getting to the Super Bowl. They might spoil someone. They might win a home playoff game.
I don't believe that in football at all. We don't know. You say that, and conditions dictate. Things change when you get into the playoffs, and all of a sudden the snow comes out in a game where you didn't expect it, or like you're a couple turnovers, or some guy on special teams has 2 punt returns. Like, you say that all you want, but I truly believe that if you make the playoffs in the NFL, you can make a run. And what I've
Okay.
seen from the NFL, and especially in the last few games, it's become more and more like the NBA. It's like a game of runs. It's like normally it would be that team who goes up big in the first half. No way is that other team coming back. You're clearly overmatched. We're just going to keep doing what we were doing. And now all of a sudden teams come back in a quarter from down 15, I mean, not 15, but 20, even bigger like margins. And you're like, so I just see like, I do believe that these teams are so evenly matched this year. I don't see some team that's that good that just can say we got this. I mean, maybe the Rams, but
the Rams,
Patriots and Bills, but
look, even the Rams screwed up and lost their game, so you never know. But I said the biggest game of the day.
How do coaches keep letting that happen? How does how these like 30 monstrous losses from being up so much? How many times? It has to be the most if they went and did the stats. Collapses in fourth quarters, like of whatever point margin, 14 plus in the fourth quarter or whatever the number is.
Well, one of the big games, Tampa and Carolina. It's the first of two, right? They play two out of the next three. We're 10 minutes to kickoff, so let's send it on out to Joe Jennings live in Carolina with the latest on the Panthers and the Bucks.
Bucks and Panthers come into today's game both at 7-7 and both struggling. They will play each other twice in the next 3 weeks. That will decide the NFC South. Tampa comes limping in after losing the last 2 weeks to the two worst teams in the NFC South, the Saints and the Falcons. Overall, they have lost 5 of their last 6. If the Bucks are going to get back on track, they're going to need to stop the run on defense and get off the field on third downs. As far as the offense goes, when in the red zone, they're going to have to come away with touchdowns, not field goals. Carolina's heading home after a crucial loss to New Orleans last week. Look for the Panthers to run the ball, control the clock, and not ask rookie quarterback Bryce Young to do too much. The weather is perfect, 60 degrees. No Jennings reporting from Charlotte, where we are just a few minutes away from round 1 of 2 between the Bucks and the Panthers. Bob, Brett, back to you guys in the studio.
Brett, so Joe Jennings out there,
nice.
Right? That's our sideline
reporter.
reporter,
bro. Details. He hits it all.
He has it all.
Messes up.
No.
Always perfect.
So that's what's going on from there. We're just about done here. Now we'll do a quick thing here, quick segment. Who do you got? It's who you got. Who you got, Brett? Division winners. Who wins each division? We'll each give our answer. Who wins the AFC East?
New England Patriots.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots too. I think the Patriots are going. I think the Bills are gonna have to go in there and win three road games. And AFC.
Yep, I agree.
AFC North. I'm saying Ravens.
Wow. I want it to happen, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to say Ravens. I do. Every time I bet against,
they should have won the first game against the Steelers.
Every time I bet against them, I'm wrong. I hate it. And Aaron Rodgers, I just want to see him lose. If he misses the playoffs, I always so happy.
Yeah, you don't want to feel
bad.
He's going to go to the Pro Bowl. No, he's going to go to the Pro Bowl.
I feel bad for man. Yeah, that's fine because that's just how. What is he going to do? Play flag and tear?
No, it's not a game, but it's a Pro Bowl. You made the All-Star team.
Stop. Okay.
So AFC South. Who you got in the AFC South?
I like the Bucks.
Yeah, listen. I think Carolina's gonna. I'm gonna pick Carolina because I think Carolina's gonna win. But I'm rooting for the Bucks.
No, it is. No, I am too, and it's Carolina, and I think I just see it. I see Bryce Young. He's a guy very similar to Caleb Williams that I had no faith in. I've seen a couple now. When you watch Red Zone, you're gonna catch all the highlights, but he can make the throws, and he seems to know how to manage the offense now, and that took a long time for him to get there. And I think that they're the ones who are up and coming, and once they get in, be careful, they could sneak one. That's who I'd be worried about, sneaking one when like the Bills come into town.
And is who won? The Eagles already won the NFC East, the AFC West. Who's going to win the AFC West? That could be San Francisco, it could be Seattle, it could be the Rams. I think the Rams are the best team. I think there's a possibility that San Francisco can win. That San Francisco can win. Yeah, but Seahawks are no good. Seahawks are paper tiger.
No, you're right. But they have the inside track, and sometimes that's all that matters.
Yeah, but last week they couldn't score a touchdown, Brett, against Old Man Rivers. They couldn't score a touchdown.
Tiebreakers, and then it goes into tiebreakers, and they have that now over the Rams, I believe. And so when I see that, I go, I say it's just that all the signs are pointing towards, and I don't think any of these teams may not lose again.
No, they
You
play
know,
each other.
like-
They play each other.
No,
That's
know,
why I
but,
think it's
they're
going to be
not
San
lose
Francisco.
Their other games.
No.
You know what I mean?
But San Francisco
they're not losing
wins.
their other games.
They sneak in
Right.
there. They get that last week against, because San Francisco plays Rivers and the Colts today, right? They win that game. They knock them out probably, more than likely. They'll be rooting the other way, but that's probably what goes on there. Seattle, it can very easily lose any of these games. Seattle could have lost. Seattle should have lost that game last week to the Colts. Yeah, Monday night against who?
It would make because Monday night, and it's going to make them 11-4. Yeah, I guess it's right there, but I guess it. Man, that would.
And
be
then
so
San Francisco
crazy
plays
for the
Seattle
San
at the end of the
Francisco
day
to sneak in.
And then imagine the Rams. I mean, the Rams lose a
And who
game.
does that-
Then the Rams got to go
And
to
who does that
Tampa.
leave? But who does that leave?
No, they all make the playoffs. There's gonna be 3 teams in the playoffs in that
Yeah.
division because it's gonna be.
I'm just trying to see who would be playing who. That's what I mean
would-
by
they-
today
whoever-
is like crazy.
Whoever
You could
loses,
end up in your like the top seed and a home field advantage, or you could end up playing away all over the place.
The second place, the first wild card team, the second place in the NFC West is gonna get the worst division. Is gonna get the Tampa game. Is going to get the winner of the NFC South
or Carolina game, and you don't want that game. Those are the
ones that they lose. They lose those games.
Lose that game, and I don't know what the spread will be, but you'll see. But that's a tough game. So that's what I'm telling you. Like Carolina, you're going to go into Carolina, and you're going to think like going into Carolina soft. We've been into Carolina a million times.
They're 8-9.
They're always Carolina like that. That ain't the same Carolina team, and they may have been even early in the season where they didn't get those early wins, or maybe they missed a couple because they had a couple where they could have won them late and they didn't. And
well, they should have beat. I mean, they both him and Tampa should have beat the one the last 2. They lose into the other teams in the division,
right? But even early, so you look and you go. Sometimes your record doesn't show how good you are. Like even when sometimes it makes you look better than you are, and sometimes you're not as good as that.
It was like a month and a half ago. I forget who they were playing, the Bills or something. It was Tampa and the Bills. It was the premier game of the day, and then Tampa fell off a cliff and they've lost 5 and 6 coming out of the bye.
And some of those guys are trickling back a little bit. Some are out for the year, but once you got Mike Evans back and you have a little bit going, you're like, it really, this game is all about injuries. I mean, you look right now, you watch and you go, how quickly do teams go down when one guy's, can be non-contact? It's over. Your season's over.
NFC North. Did the Bears win the division last night? I say yes, absolutely. Bears won. Bears are going to win that division.
Yeah, I believe so.
Bears.
Yes, they did. No, they did. Huge. That one of the great. Yes, and that was the one that would have made it where it was so much more drama.
Bears could have missed
coming
the playoffs.
Down the stretch if the Packers win that game, in which if you look at where it was in the fourth quarter, you would think, how are they not going to win that game?
Yeah, and so we got
NFC. Plus the Packers now have to worry about so much more. They have to worry about making the playoffs.
Yeah, so I think we covered all the divisions because the Eagles are. I'm going to say in the NFC East, I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Are we doing Canadian football? Are we doing Cone's backup Canadian Football League? He won the champmpionship this year.
He played 8 snaps. He played 8 snaps all year.
Ooh,
and
8 more snaps than we played, Bob.
And now I don't even know the rules of Canadian football. They got different rules, There are some funky rules.
The backups like the captain starter. If you didn't hear, that's what Cone told me.
Yeah, didn't you say you saw him in the
Canada, the word backup means captain, king, something like that.
He can't be making much money, right? Can't be making any money doing that.
No, they make $0. They make Canadian dollars.
Yeah, but
they make
how much
American dollars.
It's worth more than American
dollars. How many American
what do you
dollars
think his salary is? What do you think his salary is?
I don't know. Is there a tariff when he comes back? Does he have to tariff it? Do you get chunked on that?
Yeah.
Chunk of that out?
He might not even be allowed back.
Taxes after?
Yeah, I wonder what his salary is. Salary. Quarterback.
42 shillings?
Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Jack Cohn.
What was the parade of Mounties like? Did they Mountie them through the snow up there?
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
championship?
And
it's the flurry. The
canyon
parade?
of icicles. The canyon of icicles.
The flurry tape.
Okay, Cohn quarterback contract.
Go off on the rails all on our own. Don't you worry, folks. We don't need you, Mark.
Okay, so he's getting like $60,000.
Solid. All right, that's not bad. Plus the Canadian health.
We make double what he
in Canada. That's after taxes in Canada. That's like $20,000.
His contract. Wait, hold on. No, I'm sorry. His contract average salary $855,000. That for the backup quarterback. I read it wrong. Yeah, Jack Cohn. Oh no, that was going to be. It says Colts contract. No. That's not that.
You're not gonna.
They haven't that he signed a 3-year, $2.5 million.
They don't even have Google up there yet.
He signed he probably did. He signed the contract for 2 years, but 3 years, $2.5 million. You know how much he got? He got $60,000 because he didn't even make it. He played in like one preseason game. But
yeah, that's all that matters. Non-guaranteed contract.
That's it. It's red zone time. It's football time. Kickoff is happening. Kickoffs are going on right now across the league, across the country. Big games all over the place today. And we've seen already enough to watch to make sure you have to watch it because we've seen these 2 games the last 3 days that were just mind-blowingly wild. So enjoy the games today. Enjoy Christmas, right? Merry Christmas to everybody if we don't see you.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Let's hope the Mets start making some moves. We're going to get some more NFL cover. We got some NFL
We got to figure out who we going to feud,
Christmas.
who we going to feud with the new year.
Got the Knicks championship. Second half championship because they already have the first half championship. They have to win the second half championship.
Knicks are going to win 3 titles this year. Knicks are going to win 3 titles, make up for the last 50 years.
Summertime parade. You wouldn't even know what that's going to be like in New York. It's never happening, but if it did, it would be the crazy. We have a lot going on to unpack.
A lot going on. Big year coming up.
Yeah.
When is our anniversary is coming up? Right, our 4-year anniversary is coming up in about a month, about a month. So we'll take care of that. And that's it. So for Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. Enjoy the games, everybody. From the Brian Gunzel Studios. Also, thank you, Joe Jennings, Mark Mancini. See ya.